Yeah, that's right. Today we're going to talk about that session, 4x5k, and they were all sub 20. So first of all, let me just explain, I've got some overlay footage from the day, from the run, so I'm going to kind of overlay that over with some details and data that I've collected from it. It was a pretty scary marathon training session really when you're thinking about it, 4x5 kilometers at threshold. It's pretty tough work, but put that to a side, got through and got it done. On the day, I really just wanted to concentrate on the running, so I didn't really want to interact with the camera too much. Now, it's not a problem, but I just thought, look, I'm going to try and get as much like mentally in the same place that I would on race day, and not having the camera in my face and trying to think about how am I going to film something, what am I going to say next. It really enabled me to really just fully kind of give all effort and focus onto that session. And to be honest, like, I nailed it, right? I'm gonna be proud of myself here, and I really nailed it. I got the recovery periods of 3 minutes between them of just kind of like jogging, walking. And if I was filming it, you know, maybe in those recovery periods I might have taken a little bit longer because I want to talk to the camera whilst also getting nutrition and kind of, you know, like cooling down, not cooling down, but you know, getting that recovery in between the sets. So doing this really helped me to kind of, you know, focus on the task on hand. And sometimes that's probably something that you could think about, you know, having less distractions around with you can really help. But of course, I really wanted to make a video about it because, you know, it was one hell of a session and something that I think is going to really prove good for me in this marathon, and I'll explain why, whilst also going through some of the details. So a little bit of context for the training week. As you can see here, it's been a pretty intense week. Now I'm going to kind of back cycle one day, so we're talking Sunday to Sunday, and in those 8 days we did roughly about 55 kilometers between marathon pace and threshold. So that's a lot of intensity. And like, also one of the reasons why I managed to do this is because I took some time off and took some holidays. I think it's really important, you know, rest and recovery. I always kind of preach that, and a lot of people do. But being on holiday really enabled my body to, you know, absorb and recover. And, you know, going to work, traveling, standing, thinking about different things, maybe putting off doing something, it is just one little thing to get in the way. And that's why I took 1 week's holiday in probably like one of the peak weeks of my training. And that goes also to show, you know, like how committed I am to this marathon. It's something that I really want to, you know, give my full effort to. If I'm ever going to try this, you know, and I'm going to sort of see how good I can become at this, I really want to be able to give my utmost and say, you know, like, I tried my best, and I think I'm in a really good place right now. So on those last 8 days, what did I do? So we did that video, which you can see, all the videos will be linked down below. The 22 kilometer marathon paced effort, yeah, that was a killer video as well. I'm sure I got some great comments, and, you know, kudos to Emma for filming it as well. And she's done a great job over the holidays, so thank you to Emma, and I'm sure you all appreciate the drone footage and all the other angles and seeing what I've been doing. Then midweek we had that 2x5k with 6x200 meters. They were, you know, everything about that session was perfect. Yet again, there's another video down below, so I'm not going to mention too much about it, but you can go and check those out. That leads me on to today's session. Well, I'm filming this a day later. So the session was for me, you know, like 30 minutes kind of warm up, you know, just easy running, and then 4x5k at threshold. It's quite an intense session. You know, I did shy away from it, I'll be honest. The day before I said, look, because I don't live near any flattish roads, that it's really hard to be able to get those marathon paced efforts on rolling, hilling terrain. So I kind of backed out and said I'll do 4x15 minutes on some rolling gravel roads. Now that might obviously still be just as good, because, you know, doing different workouts and things like that is really healthy. But as I said before, I want to be as specific as possible. I really want to nail it, and yeah, I kind of backtracked out of my little, you know, hiding away from it and like, hey Mark, come on, you got this. You got a really good stranglehold on the position that you're in, and let's not fizzle out on this last little stretch of hard training. So for those first 5k reps, here's some of the details here, but we hit the first two in roughly 1840, which is probably just 5 seconds or something over pace. Yeah, that's the one. But so those were perfectly nailed, and I was really happy with that. The effort was hard because, like as I said, with all these other training sessions and just continuing to run, the accumulated fatigue was pretty high, right? And I think that's pretty normal, and that's why it's like peak week of marathon training in a way. But one thing I was happy to see is like my heart rate wasn't raising too high. Power has been quite consistent, so I was quite happy to see the data figures and be able to look at the data versus data from historic and also recent. On the first and the second rep, on the first half of them, I felt really, I don't want to say bad, but like I was mentally like trying to give up. I was like, okay, well I can do 2 reps and then do a 2.5 kilometer, or I can do 3 reps and then split the last one up into 5 by 1k. Now that's great to be agile, but if you're just looking for like an excuse to back out of it and you're physically capable of doing it, then I think like that was not the right place to be mentally. And like I ground it out, and I think that's the thing. You really need to stop looking ahead at the 4th rep. If I'm in suffering now, how am I going to do that 4th rep? How am I going to do that 3rd rep? Well, look, I managed to do it. So only learning to focus on the situation and the steps that you're taking at the moment, and then just take the rest as it comes. If you do feel on that beginning of that 4th rep that you, for some reason, really can't do it, then adjust and adapt, but don't make decisions for the future in the now. And that's going to be a really important lesson, that the training doesn't only help me physically like it has with all this training here, but mentally, that I'm going to go into this marathon thinking 30 kilometers, how am I going to get there at this pace still? Don't think of that. Just grind away at this moment, take this kilometer as it comes, and we'll get to the 30th kilometer. And by then, we're probably going to be feeling great and smash it out anyway. For those second 5 kilometer reps, it sounds quite large reps, doesn't it? 5k at threshold, and you're doing 4 of them. That's what I thought, at least, anyway. I did slow down a bit, I think, but I wanted to make sure I was, running above my marathon pace. So my marathon pace projected should be like 3:55 per kilometer. So I wanted to make sure that I was running 3:55 or quicker. Great thing is that I managed to do that, and I successfully managed to do it, and managed to do 4 5Ks, which was sub 20 minutes in these times here. And wow, if you would have asked me that maybe like half a year ago, would you be able to do a session like that? I would have thought that is a brutal session. It is, but it's very beneficial mentally, physically. And look, I've come out of it on the other side of the workout, and yeah, my body's tired, but it's not beat up. And now we're in the taper period. Now is the time to let the body recover, relax, and we can get to race day and feel fresh and fit and ready to take it on with excitement, and the body also feeling just as excited to start moving again at that full throttle. So I'm going to hand you back over to myself at the end of the session. I did record it a little bit. Right, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the talk. It's been a super hard training so far. We're not over yet, but now we're into the easy and the tapering stuff. So thanks for watching, thanks for all the support, it means so much. And I'm gonna have some coconut water, relax, and we'll catch up soon. We've got that live Q&A and lots of other things coming. So if you've got any questions, leave them down below. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. And thank you.